Yes, due to technology, I get to teach you even when I'm not here. So what I'm going to give you a brief lesson on is how to do your presentation for your Invention Convention. A few pointers starting out. When you're at Invention Convention, it will be a long process. You'll be tempted to sit down on a chair, which you're more than welcome to do. But as soon as you see the judge come up, you need to make sure that you get up out of your chair and you're ready to present. You don't want to present. I've had students that have in the past presented sitting down. It was very unprofessional. So you want to be as professional as possible. The first thing you want to do when they come up to you is you want to shake their hand, okay, and introduce yourself. Hello, my name is Todd Stanley. I'm on the Quest team, and let me tell you about my invention today. The handshake should be a firm handshake. It shouldn't be a limp handshake. And I know this sounds silly, but once again, it's one of those first impressions. If you give a firm handshake, then you'll seem very confident, and that the judge will be then expecting you to be confident. That sets you off on the right foot to start with. So when you go to do your actual presentation, you're going to use the board as your outline. So you're going to start out with the problem, which is what you have in your upper left-hand corner. You're going to walk them through that scenario. Have you ever? And walk them through that. Kind of put them in the shoes of the person who would use this invention. And then you're going to talk about how the invention works. So then you'll go through your little spiel on how the invention works, giving them a basic overview of how they would use this invention. Next, of course, you talk about who this helps. Make sure you stress who it indirectly helps as well, because then this will show them that you have really thought about this invention and what it can do for people. And lastly, of course, you're going to summarize what you talked about through the whole invention process. What the problem was, how it works, who it helps, all in the solution part. During this, when you're giving your presentation, you want to refer to your model, which will be sitting here, and your plan as much as possible. So when you start talking about your invention, kind of do a Vanna White over to the actual invention and show them that, or show them in the plan where you have certain things. These are your visual aids and you want to be using them. You should definitely not get through your whole presentation and not have referred to your plan or your model. You want to make sure that you do that. So I'm going to walk you through what this will look like. Okay, I'm going to give you, and my invention is an invention, I'll explain it actually in the presentation, but I want you to watch my example and try to use that as an example. The other thing you want to do is when you're talking to the judge is make eye contact with them. In other words, don't read the board the whole time. You can glance to the board to help you from time to time, but don't read off the board. You want to be making eye contact with them. Not creepy eye contact, but confident eye contact. So let me walk you through what this would look like. Hello, how's it going? My name is Todd Stanley. I'm on the Quest team. Let me tell you about my invention, the door opener. Have you ever had this problem when you are going into your house and your arms are full of groceries or bags or your book bags or whatever, and you just can't get to to unlock the door or get the keys out of your pocket to unlock the door? But wouldn't it be nice if you had a method of unlocking the door that you didn't have, that you could do that with your hands full? So you could use my invention called the door opener. How it works is very similar to an electronic key fob that people use to unlock their car door. So instead, this would be hooked up to your house, your front house door, so that if you have your hands full or whatever, you just push on the key fob and it unlocks your front door. And then with your hands full, you can kind of push open the door and go in without the risk of dropping any of the things that you have. So this would work, and like I said, the technology is already there in regards to the opening the car door. This should just work on your front door as well. Who this helps? Who this helps, obviously directly, would be people who often find themselves with their hands full trying to get into their house. Who it indirectly helps also are parents. For instance, kids tend to lose their house keys. At our school, we were always hearing on the announcements how people have lost their keys. Instead, you would have a key fob that would be on a keychain that would be much more difficult to lose. And so this would be good for parents to buy for their kids so they can use the key fob to get in and out of the house if they're coming home and their parents aren't home and they come home off the bus. It also would indirectly help people that tend to lose their keys, because a key fob is a lot more difficult to lose than a regular key. So, as you can see on the plan here, It's a fairly simple contraption, and so what you would do is you would just simply, how it works is you hit the unlock button when you want to go in, and also who it helps is if, say, you forget to lock your doors and you're out in the car and you get ready to pull away, just pull out your key fob and you can lock the door also using the key fob. So, in solution, my invention, the door opener, will help people who often find themselves with their hands full or who often lose keys by giving them a simple way to unlock and lock their front door using the remote control key fob, which they can do at a distance. Thanks. So, that is the presentation. They may ask you, notice it wasn't any more than a couple of minutes, and your presentation shouldn't be either. They may ask you some questions. Make sure you're ready to answer your questions. You know, they may look at your journal. If they have any questions about your journal, make sure that you give them honest answers. And once again, be confident with those answers. Don't look down or mumble or whatever. Look up at them and give them a confident answer. So that's today's lesson on how to give your presentation. What you're going to do for the rest of the class is you are going to partner up with someone. And if there are odd numbers, then you can have 3 people going. But I want you to practice presenting your invention using your trifold, using your model, using your plan to this partner. And then when you're done with that, switch with another partner. But you should spend the entire, I've left you about 45 to 50 minutes practicing this as many times as possible. The more times you practice presenting, the more confident you'll become with it. So, and also it's important the person that you're practicing with, that they give you some feedback. They say you didn't make very good eye contact, or you might want to refer to this. So make sure that if you are partnered up with someone, you do a good job of offering them some constructive feedback to help them in how to give their presentation. And remember, the presentations that you're giving in class are going to be tomorrow. Those are going to be for grade. And then the actual Invention Convention is next Tuesday, the 27th, after school. So partner up and have fun presenting.